Okay.
Welcome to UMBC's Graduate School Commencement Exercises. The ceremony will begin in a few minutes, and we ask that you take your seats. First, a few notes for your safety and comfort. Please note the exits around the arena, in particular to the ones nearest you. Emergency medical services are available on the concourse level behind Section 101. During the ceremony, please do not leave your seats to take photographs or videos. Aisles must remain clear at all times, and guests are not allowed on the main floor. As we prepare to begin our ceremony, please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices. We ask that all guests stay until the end of the ceremony out of respect for our graduates and UMBC. Please welcome our UMBC Brass Quintet, featuring David Necula, trumpet, Brent Madsen, trumpet, Chandra Cervantes, French horn, Patrick Crossland, trombone, and Tom Holtz, tuba. Now, please turn your attention to the far end of the arena floor and stand for our commencement procession. The procession of graduates is led by the Students' Marshal, Dr. Kyung Young Yoon, the 2023 recipient of the Presidential Teaching Professor Award, an assistant professor and coordinator of Korean in the Department of Modern Languages, Linguistics, and Intercultural Communication. The faculty and staff procession is led by Ms. Tricia Wells, Staff Marshal, the 2023 Presidential Distinguished Staff Award recipient for exempt staff, and Assistant Vice Provost for the Division of Professional Studies. The Staff Marshal is carrying a baton that the UMBC Alumni Association gave to the university in honor of our 40th anniversary in 2006. The platform party is led by the Grand Marshal, Dr. Susan McDonough, President of the Faculty Senate and Associate Professor of History. The Grand Marshal carries the University Mace, a symbol of presidential authority. Used only on formal academic occasions, UMBC's Mace was commissioned by the Alumni Association for UMBC's 20th anniversary in 1986.
The 81st commencement exercises of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County will now be in order. Please rise for our national anthem, performed by Regina Catherine Aquino, a senior soprano vocal performance major on the pre-nursing track. Regina is honored to represent the music department today. Please remain standing throughout the anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the Rockies' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Regina. That was a wonderful rendition. And congratulations on your graduation tomorrow. Everyone, please be seated. As we welcome you to UMBC, we wish to acknowledge that UMBC was established upon the land of the Piscataway and Susquehannock peoples. Over time, citizens of many more indigenous nations have come to reside in this region. We humbly offer our respects to all past, present, and future indigenous people connected to this place. Now, I am pleased to introduce the sixth president of UMBC, Dr. Valerie Shears Ashby.
Good morning. Oh, it's a better morning than that. Good morning. Good morning. What a glorious day this is. On behalf of our entire community, it is my privilege to welcome you to the 81st commencement of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. In addition to this morning's graduate exercises, undergraduates will be awarded baccalaureate degrees in a ceremony tomorrow morning. To you, the families, the friends of our graduates, we are delighted that you have joined us from near and far to honor and celebrate these outstanding students. I also want to welcome those graduating students, family members, and friends who are joining us online. Thank you for being a part of today's ceremony. Thank you as well to our faculty and our staff, and to my fellow campus leaders who are here with us today. To the academic and administrative leaders, shared governance leaders, members of the Commencement Executive Committee, the Presidential Faculty and Staff Award recipients, welcome and thank you for being here today. It is now my pleasure to introduce David Dowalder, UMBC's Interim Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. Provost Dowalder, please.
Thank you, President Shears Ashby. On behalf of the scholarly community we call UMBC, I extend my congratulations to our graduates. UMBC's faculty, staff, and administrators held high expectations for you when they welcomed you as a member of the UMBC community. Those expectations were based on your promise as scholars, and today we celebrate your fulfillment of that promise. You will join the tradition of UMBC alumni who, through their lives and through their works, continue to advance our understanding of our humanity, our democracy, our interactions with the natural world, and our efforts to make a positive difference in the lives of others. Your diploma represents not just your academic achievement, but it also represents the friendships you formed, the faculty who guided you, your learning, and the family and friends who supported you along the way. I hope your experience as a member of the UMBC community provided you the opportunity to clarify the values we share together: excellence, commitment, hard work, respect, and integrity. So look to the future. Make the most of the talents bestowed upon you. Extend the resources of your mind and heart. Enjoy a life rich in the knowledge that each day your work and relationships continue to make a difference. Congratulations. And next, I'm pleased to introduce the Vice Provost and Dean of the Graduate School, Dr. Janet Rutledge.
Good morning. Good morning. President Shears Ashby, Provost DeWalder, faculty and staff, students, our graduates, and distinguished guests. Today we gather in a time-honored tradition shared across the world in saluting the attainment of the standards of advanced graduate study. This ceremonial tradition of the conferral of the master's and doctoral degrees is one that provides a universal currency signifying the highest standard of achievement in the disciplines, subjects, and professions sponsored by UMBC. This is one of life's happiest and most significant milestones for each of today's graduates. It is a milestone not only for those earning degrees, but for all of us here today. For the graduates seated in front of me, it signifies the completion of your master's or doctoral degree and the acceptance of ever more challenging horizons. For the faculty and staff, the event serves as a capstone for all they have shared with you and brings special joy at seeing your personal success. And for the families and friends here today, it is a moment in which we can all share, acknowledging the recognition that you, our soon-to-be graduates, so richly deserve. For me and many others, it is a special moment during which we can witness the fruits of the many labors in our community and take pride in the remarkable work that takes place here at UMBC. During this ceremony, those of you receiving degrees will transition from being students to being alumni. Whatever career path you choose, you represent the very best of the future. You have embarked on one of the most important journeys of your lives, and we are all very, very proud of you. The degree earned from UMBC reflects significant achievement, often involving substantial personal sacrifice and struggle. For the pursuit of new knowledge and understanding involves growth and change. As we pay tribute to you today, we recognize, too, those who have supported you during your studies at UMBC. We know how much support your families and friends have provided throughout the experience, and this is their day, too. We come together also to acknowledge the faculty and staff who have encouraged, mentored, and inspired you to achieve your very best at UMBC. By honoring you, our graduates, we pay tribute to their artful craft of leading you to this day. So please give all of those who have supported you during these important years another round of applause. Noted psychologist and author Theodore Isaac Rubin wisely stated, "Happiness does not come from doing easy work, but from the afterglow of satisfaction that comes after achievement of a difficult task that demanded our best." So today, we bask in the glow of your happiness and satisfaction of all that you have accomplished. And we also celebrate the commencement of all that you have yet to achieve. Congratulations from all of us.
Thank you, Dean Rutledge, for those inspiring remarks. Today, I have the honor of joining my colleagues and all of you in celebrating our graduate students, those who have completed their courses of study and met all the requirements to receive master's and doctoral degrees. But I want to take a moment to reflect on what today means, why it matters, how it feels, what difference it actually makes. Graduates, you know what it means to you. This is the culmination of a long journey and the start of a new one. Whether in academia, industry, the arts, or in public service, the road to today undoubtedly has been filled with great challenges and great joy. and with some questioning, discovery, and growth. For so much of your journey, you have been focused on the work, the inquiry, the research, the creation, and the articulation of your ideas and innovations. But we also pause today to reflect on your personal growth through all of that work. How you are different now as a person, a thinker, a collaborator, a problem solver, a performer, an artist, the new perspectives with which you look at the world, your neighborhood, and your background, and your amazing strength, your resilience, your determination, and your sense of responsibility to be in service to others. Your degree signifies a great achievement, and it also honors your personal journey and evolution as a human being. Graduates, you may also think that you know what today means to your faculty, mentors, and advisors. But trust me, you only have the smallest inkling. I cannot overstate the significance of today's ceremony for us as faculty. The evolution of the faculty-graduate-student relationship is an extraordinary one. It starts out as a mentor-mentee relationship when you're working closely in the co-creation of knowledge. Probably you were learning more from your advisor at that time. But over time, questions and ideas become more of your own, and the relationship becomes one of collaborators, in which sometimes and more often you become the leader. And today we have the privilege of honoring that amazing transformation. In many cases, your advisor is giving you the same degree that they have. And let me tell you, they are prouder of you than they were when they received that same degree themselves. Today, we experience the joy of glimpsing the future and knowing that it is truly in great hands. And to our families and friends, some of you have been on this journey yourselves, so you know what it means. But for many, it probably has seemed quite mysterious and maybe even strange at times. You might have wondered if these students were ever going to finish, or what exactly they were working on and why in the world did it matter, and was it going to actually be worth it? So here's the thing that I want you to know. These students, our amazing UMBC graduate students, have ascended to the highest levels of academic achievement, and it is rare for a reason. This is hard work that even few attempt and even fewer complete. And our world will be better because of their passion, their heart, their commitment, and their sheer brilliance. They will write the books, create the art, discover the solutions, develop the policies, and help us better understand ourselves, each other, and our world. I know that you are proud of them. I can feel your pride from up here, and I share in that pride with you. I am grateful as well because as these graduates pursue their plans, they are living out UMBC's public mission. We create knowledge that improves lives. We contribute to the economic development of our communities. We partner with those communities to advance social justice and social responsibility, to expand opportunity, and to promote health and well-being. And in the culture we foster on this campus, we aim to co-create a community that values wide-ranging perspectives and a diversity of backgrounds and lived experiences. For we know we cannot achieve excellence without such diversity. We strive to learn from one another, to work together on solutions, and to engage in respectful discourse across differences, as we are forever mindful of our shared humanity. In today's conflict-ridden world that is so deeply divided, This work is more important, more desperately needed than ever. And so today, on this occasion, we celebrate the public mission that is such a deep privilege. It is ours to pursue, and we celebrate you, our families, the friends, our faculty, our staff, and most of all, our graduates. Congratulations to each one of you. I now invite Dean Rutledge to join me for the conferring of our degrees.
Before we begin reading the names of our graduates, we first want to share this short video recognizing our graduates who are participating virtually. Please help us celebrate them by cheering.
Tinuola A. Akinyemi, Catherine Barnhart, Nathan Collins, LaShante Davis, Maxim Aaron, Vishnu Gangireddy, Shaimar R. Gonzalez Morales, Jack Hurwitz, Genevieve B. Caring, Thomas Wynn, Prajwal Panda, Anshika K. Patel, Mohammed Ishtiaq Rahman, Agniva Roy Chowdhury, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Eileen T. Meyer, Amarnath Sayani, Amil I. Sheikh, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Eileen T. Meyer, Rhonda Shields, Jacqueline G. Urquizo, Sahiti Viranki, Amber Chantel Williamson, Esther Yun,
Let's give them one more round of applause. Today, each graduate will receive a memento from the UMBC Alumni Association. Representing the Alumni Association Board of Directors today is Jennifer Herson. Jennifer is one of over 90,000 UMBC alumni worldwide. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies in 1999 and is president and COO of Data Canopy. Please join me in thanking Jennifer for her support of UMBC. Now, will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy please rise? President Shears Ashby, I have the honor of presenting the candidates recommended by the faculty of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. It is the highest earned degree for which any university has the power to confer.
Graduates, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the State of Maryland, given to the Board of Regents and the Chancellor of the University System of Maryland, and by them entrusted to me, I hereby admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, which you have earned during the course of your studies at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, in token whereof you shall be given a diploma with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Thank you. Now, will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy please proceed with their mentors to the platform?
Doctoral candidates in the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. In the program of Language, Literacy, and Culture, Justin DePrima, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Christine Mallinson, and whose co-mentor is Dr. Lucille McCarthy.
Dr. DePrima's work on rhetorical knowledge transfer offers insight for writing instructors interested in fostering critical and creative thinking via digital media. He plans to continue his role as a middle school English teacher for Baltimore County Public Schools.
Heidi Jo Faust, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Beverly Bickle, and whose co-mentor is Dr. Joan Kang Shin.
Dr. Faust's research shows the transformative power of professional learning communities to advance practice, professionalism, and self-efficacy in non-Western English teaching contexts. She implements English language capacity building programs globally as the Grants, Projects, and Partnerships Officer at Teachers of English to Speakers of Other Languages International Association.
Shaban M. Quinn, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Beverly Bickle, and whose co-mentor is Dr. Denise Marangolo.
Dr. Quinn showed the significance of Germania Hall in positioning its community as German and American when anti-immigrant discourses called ethnic cultural events un-American. She is collaborating with the Hart Cluett Museum on a special exhibition for the nation's 250th anniversary.
Elise N. Minter, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Brandy Harris Wallace.
Dr. Mentor's research explored how Black women experience fertility challenges with an emphasis on medical interactions, meaning-making, social support seeking, and managing fertility-related distress. She will continue at the Library of Congress in the Congressional Research Service.
Allison N. Morrow, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Craig Saper, and whose co-mentor is Dr. Edward Larkey.
Dr. Morrow created a method for studying adaptations in Korean television that demonstrated their impact on politics and culture. She will work as an academic program manager at the Johns Hopkins University and will team teach a humanities scholars course at UMBC.
In the program of Human Services Psychology, Eduardo A. Alsina, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Sherry Waldstein.
Dr. Alsina studied disparities in the relationships between heart and brain health and the genetic and anatomical factors that impact Alzheimer's disease. He is a postdoctoral fellow in clinical neuropsychology at the University of Miami School of Medicine.
Shelta N. Zia, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Christopher Murphy, and whose co-mentor is Dr. Kenneth Matan.
Dr. Dija's research focused on understanding the psychological impact of sexual re-victimization among Black women. Future plans include a global mental health postdoctoral fellowship in sub-Saharan Africa, where she can continue working to understand and alleviate the effects of systemic oppression on mental health.
Kali R. Rasuli, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Linda Dahlquist.
Dr. Rasuli examined the impact of pain attitudes on parents' decisions to vaccinate their children against COVID-19. She is completing her postdoctoral fellowship in pediatric neuropsychology at the Children's National Medical Center.
In the program of Public Policy, Rudy de Leon Dinglas, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Lauren Hamilton Edwards.
Dr. Dinglas's research focused on understanding the motivations of government administrators in their use of performance management practices in local public organizations. He is Chief of Staff at the Bloomberg Center for Government Excellence at the Johns Hopkins University.
Margaret Callie Ziegler, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Lauren Edwards.
Dr. Kai Ziegler used value alignment to analyze the Baltimore Regional Transportation Board's effectiveness in transportation planning, building upon previous management and collaborative process frameworks. She will be an adjunct professor at UMBC and research director for Forest Consulting.
Allison J. Watkins, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Nancy Miller.
Dr. Watkins is an attorney with an interest in health and food and drug law, which led her to research the impact of drug shortages on patient care. She is the Assistant Vice President at the University of Maryland, Baltimore for the Office of Policy and Procedures.
Aaron Harris, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Lucy Wilson and whose co-mentor is Dr. Jane Arnold Lincove.
To assess communications pathways for emergency preparedness, Dr. Harris designed and tested an education program for sixth graders that resulted in increased preparedness for participants' families in Baltimore City. She is a program manager for the Baltimore Urban Area Security Initiative program.
Doctoral candidates in the College of Natural and Mathematical Sciences. In the program of Biological Sciences, Haya Algrain, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Phyllis Robinson.
Dr. Algrain studied melanopsin expression in the 9-banded armadillo retina and the correlation between mammalian retinal photoreceptors and melanopsin signaling kinetics. She is a research specialist at the Keith Porter Imaging Facility at UMBC.
Timothy M. Hufford, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Rachel Brewster.
Dr. Hufford identified a molecule that increases red blood cells in low oxygen, enhancing oxygen delivery and minimizing tissue damage. This discovery may pave the way for novel therapeutic interventions. He is pursuing research positions in government and industry.
Jason Coe, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Daniel Lobo.
Dr. Coe developed novel computational and mathematical methods to understand how cells organize themselves into multicellular organisms, resulting in a deeper understanding of the biological mechanisms controlling development, regeneration, and cancer dynamics.
Sabine Ikram, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Aaron Green.
Dr. Ikram's research focused on characterizing a signaling protein in prostate cancer progression that has therapeutic potential. She is a postdoctoral researcher at Stanford University.
Christopher Mayer Bacon, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Stephen Freeland.
Dr. Mayer Bacon's research advanced our scientific understanding of the evolution of life's amino acid alphabet. He works for the Food and Drug Administration, evaluating
In the program of
pharmaceutical
environmental
manufacturing
engineering.
facilities and processes.
In the program of chemistry. Curtis Jones, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Chung-Peng Chen.
Through fabrication of a novel, robust microfluidic platform, Dr. Jones was able to demonstrate the necessity of a three-dimensional cell culture in cell culture models, knowledge that could potentially benefit pharmaceutical research in the development of better therapeutics.
Geraso Keza Monia Kabandana, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Chung-Peng Chen.
Dr. Kabadana's research produced advanced 3D printed tools for bioanalytical studies and revealed new inflammatory pathways for antibiotic development, resulting in 5 publications, including a cover story and another manuscript currently under review. She plans a pharmaceutical career.
In the program of applied mathematics. Ming-Kai Yu, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Muruhan Ratanam.
Dr. Yu studied stochastic filtering problems for biological processes driven by reaction and diffusion. She proposed simulation methods to estimate the full state and parameters of such systems based on partially observed data. She is applying for teaching positions.
In the program of statistics. Gaurav Hor, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Anindya Roy.
Dr. Hori developed utility-preserving privacy mechanisms for the time series data. Unlike conventional noise addition approaches, his work leveraged filtering and multiple imputations. Dr. Hori will join the Food and Drug Administration as a visiting associate.
Alain Michel El Mola, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Yehenu Kifel, and whose co-mentor is Dr. Bimal Sinha.
Dr. Mola specialized in statistical inference for common mean problems in both univariate and multivariate settings, and demonstrated various ways of synthesizing results from K-independent studies. He will join the U.S. Department of Agriculture as a statistician.
In the program of atmospheric physics. Naranga Prasadi Kaluapua Hanidige, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Peng Wang Zhai.
Dr. Hanadige developed remote sensing algorithms of aerosols and ocean color designed for advanced Earth orbiting satellite instruments, improving Earth system modeling and reducing the uncertainty of global radiative budget quantification. She is a postdoctoral researcher at SRAN, Netherlands Institute for Space Research.
Jianyu Zheng, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Jibo Zhang.
Dr. Zhang developed a novel satellite remote sensing algorithm to study atmospheric dust aerosols. He's a postdoctoral research associate at the Goddard Earth Sciences Technology and Research II Center at UMBC and NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center.
Doctoral candidates in the College of Engineering and Information Technology. In the program of Environmental Engineering. Michael Anthony Fleming, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Lee Blaney.
Dr. Fleming researched recapturing nutrients from agricultural waste using membrane separation techniques to improve poor water quality. He is a tenure-track faculty member in the Department of Environmental and Civil Engineering at Mercer University in Macon, Georgia.
In the program of Computer Science, Aratran Pillai, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Anupam Joshi.
Dr. Pillai extracted cyber knowledge from unstructured text, leveraging it to develop knowledge-guided reinforcement learning models, leading to significant improvements in both automated malware detection and cyber attack mitigation capabilities. He is an assistant professor at the University of Texas, El Paso.
Samit Shuwardikar, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Milton Halem.
Dr. Shuwardikar developed a powerful analytical tensor rank decomposition tool for the real-time analysis of spatial, temporal, air quality, and surface layer weather, climate, environmental forecasting. He is a visiting lecturer at UMBC and plans a career in academia.
Fahad S. Siddiqui, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Nilanjan Banerjee, and whose co-mentor is the late Dr. Richard P. Allen.
Dr. Siddiqui focused on understanding sleep-disordered breathing events and how these can be predicted using easily measured biomarkers, expanding our understanding of the underlying mechanisms which degrade the quality of our sleep by causing fragmentation.
In the program of Electrical Engineering, Hedya Bagarzadeh Omandani, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Lee Yan.
Dr. Bagarzadeh developed tools to help people suffering from neuropsychiatric disorders through a non-invasive brain simulation method. She is a postdoctoral fellow at the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke, working on brain performance and the treatment for neuropsychiatric disorders.
Michael A. Tope, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Joel M. Morris.
Dr. Tope's research used active machine learning sampling algorithms to enhance estimation of the rate of communication across certain statistically uncertain channels and achieve near-optimal communication system performance. He is an engineering and physical science researcher with the U.S. Department of Defense.
William C. Walton, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Sungjun Kim.
Dr. Walton's research can help improve breast cancer detection by providing an automated means of finding lesions across the multiple X-ray image views that are taken during routine exams. He is a staff member at the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory.
Chi-Tao Xue, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Jianwu Wang, and whose co-mentor is Dr. Qingchuan Zhang.
Dr. Xue researched a deep learning-based chatbot in fintech applications. He serves as a principal engineer with Newfold Digital Inc., a prominent technology company where he contributes significantly to advancements in the field.
Catherine Orden, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Shande Purushottam, and whose co-mentor is Dr. Edward Raff.
Dr. Orden developed improved methods for visible thermal image translation. Her work has applications for healthcare and safe automated driving. She will continue at Booz Allen Hamilton as an executive advisor in artificial intelligence, leading work in generative research and development.
Anamika Paul Rupa, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Arya Gangopadhyay.
Dr. Rupa pioneered a multimodal approach for activity detection on Instagram. a real-time edge artificial intelligence model for violence detection, and a deep fusion method for discerning activities on Twitter. She is a lecturer at Howard University.
In the program of Mechanical Engineering, Priyanshu Banerjee, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Deepa Madan.
Dr. Banerjee decoupled electrical and thermal conductivity using energy-efficient additive manufacturing methods, which contribute to performance enhancement and create eco-friendly, cost-effective thermoelectric devices, which may be used for long-lasting power supply for low-power electronic devices.
Oscar Cerna, Doctor of Philosophy, whose mentor is Dr. Panos Charalambidis and whose co-mentor is Dr. Wei Dongju.
Using non-destructive surface scanning, Dr. Cerna developed models to predict the presence of damage such as biomaterial interface cracks over a wide range of applications. He plans to develop housing for low-income families in his native country of Colombia. Let's give our PhD graduates another round of applause. And now, will the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts, Master of Public Policy, Master of Science, and Masters of Professional Studies please rise? President Shears Ashby, I have the honor of presenting the candidates recommended by the faculty of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Public Policy, Master of Science, and Masters of Professional Studies.
Graduates, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the state of Maryland, given to the Board of Regents and the Chancellor of the University System of Maryland, and by them entrusted to me, I hereby admit you to the degree which you have earned during the course of your studies at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, in token whereof you shall be given a diploma with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Thank you. Will the candidates for master's degrees now proceed to the platform? Please remain seated until your row is escorted to the stage.
Master of Arts candidates in the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. In the program of Education, Francisco Jamel Leonard. Lauren Ashley Bowers. Tamara Dingman. In the program of Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, Carla Swartz. Jillian Johnson. Mark Beachy. Liliana Stelmach. Lauren Pomeroy. Rebecca Martha Lopez Ruse. Tamia Morris. In the program of Teaching, Philip J. Odenz. Jenneth K. James. Terrence I. Lonan. Samra Nazar. Andrea Carrington. In the program of Historical Studies, George Allen Lewis, Brianna Gabrielle Baker. In the program of Text, Technologies, and Literature, Ivan Perez. In the program of Human Services Psychology, Danielle M. Farrell. Samantha Karen Berg. In the program of Learning and Performance Technology, Emitria Y. Veni. Cassandra Naismith. Tiffany E. Shorter. Patricia McMillan. Nicole Miles. Tina Butcher. In the program of Applied Sociology, Rose Elhog Anderson. Amanda L. Cardone. Winnays Peter Sangetti. Corey A. P. Danielle E. Duell. Joseph P. Carroll. Master of Public Policy candidates in the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. In the program of Public Policy, Nick Steiner. Master of Professional Studies candidates in the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. In the program of Community Leadership, Anna Zanderin. In the program of Industrial Organizational Psychology, Renee Jackson Holdbrook Smith. Mariam Kaloyan. Sabrina J. Williams. Samantha Bell. Master of Science candidates in the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. In the program of Emergency Health Services, Ogenetica Anita Kabude. In the program of Geography and Environmental Systems, Selena D. Gibson. Jason Chase. Mackenzie Boatman. Drew Powell. Valerie Pachon. Rhonda Plofkin. Master of Science candidates in the College of Natural and Mathematical Sciences. In the program of Biological Sciences, Tyler Stephen Offenbacher. In the program of Chemistry, Courtney Alana Coppersmith. In the program of Applied Mathematics, Harrison Lewis. Alex Sharanko. In the program of Statistics, Justin R. Towson. Master of Professional Studies candidates in the College of Natural and Mathematical Sciences. In the program of Biotechnology, Ashwini Purulakar. In the program of Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Leadership, Kashvi D. Joshi. Jolene Thomas. Christopher Slack. Bobby Lubashevsky. Master of Science candidates in the College of Engineering and Information Technology. In the program of Chemical and Biochemical Engineering, Michael G. McKee, Ellie Vonderhorst. In the program of Computer Science, Amritya Balasubramanian, Sinclair Pho, Yanis Boutsikas, Pragadiswar Nanda Muralidharan, Jonathan Daniel Fuchs, Aditi Shrivastava, Avni Saxena, Raghuvir Sundararajan, Naga Raju Goravelli, Madhu Morella, Ritwik Ranganeni, Yeshwant Mupavarapu, Vamshi Krishna Jina, Venkata Sridhar Perapu, Sai Rugved Lola, Shalini Reddy Nomula, Dimple Premchand Khatri, Akanksha Narsin, Kajal Bharat Govani, Amish Abbasi, Sai Charan Mamidala, Sakshi Chavanki, Soumya Singh, Venkata Prakash Reddy Sati, Janardhana Krishna Devella, Vivek Chandu Juturu, Pavan Kumar Balaji Ranjankar, Rohit Shripatrao Shavan, Abhineshwar Prabhakaran, Tanushya Balasubramaniam, Akarsh Kotakanda, Venkat Ramana Vasili, Ralph Joseph Salito, Alex Kehoe O'Shaughnessy, Oluwabunmi O Layode, Montrez Miracle Bay Oliver, Baba Shigun A. Adiojo. In the program of Systems Engineering, Jack A. Cannon, Camden Nace, Nikira Johnson. In the program of Human-Centered Computing, Cameron Green, Christopher John Hart, Kayla Simone Johnson, Chintan Himanshu Jani, Sravan Kumar Krovidi, Josie C. Montes de Oca, Yetunde Okueso, Evangeline Somia William. In the program of Information Systems, Shawanda Littlejohn, Maulik M. Soni, Chris Frome, Rafael A. Espinoza, Michael James Carter, Darian Garcia, Rahel Aviva Benyamin, Natisha Nahar, Srilata Konda, Anu Gotra, Maida S. Kunath, Louis S. Davis, Prathamesh Keluskar, Ajinkya Kuwar, Vaishnavi Atul Patil, Samra Syed Afzal, Chinwendu O. Uche, Mani Shekhar Kadali, Swati Kotla, Srinija Danamaneni, Sandhya Balabama, Aravind Reddy Kotapalli, Sai Teja Voruganti, Suprita Kotla, Shiradinath Konduru, Neha Reddy Chama, Yogishandar Bapana. In the program of Mechanical Engineering, Jude Thaddeus Persia, Christopher Kasperzak, Master of Professional Studies candidates in the College of Engineering and Information Technology. In the program of Cybersecurity, Saurav Bhattarai, Shri Vasudha Eke, Brittany Davis, Ryan Freeman, Kelvin Fortetta, Ramatulai Sidibe, Amari D. Smith, Alan Rayner, Perry Vinner, Heather M. Deval, Rob Carey, Cameron J. Napini, Anis Amran, Natoma Asigri, Michael Appison, Michael No, Ashya Makala, Bharath Kumar Reddy Bandari, Chinonso Nwangwu, Brittany S. Dua. In the program of Data Science, Mercy Subramani, Hari Krishna Advalapati, Harshini Akapali, Shiradinath Konduru, Chandralekha Baveri, Saumya Kasireddy, Shauri Niharika Yaruva, Yashwant Reddy Gadapali, Yashwant Bagam, Sai Sridhar Nanavat, Vamshi Krishna Timberaveni, Srija Pendota, Meghana Barenka Bavi, Ujwala Namineni, Suraj Rana Vujini, Avaduta Sai Teja, Shruti Bachala, Sukesh Pavan Bitragunta, Manoj Kumar Boyapati, Krishna Sidvi Nakanti, Venkata Sumanth Teja Bitragunta, Akil Kumar Kondamidi, Sai Vikas Kondamidi, Sivaji Ganesh Konka, Arushi Agarwal, Snigdha Panakanti, Camille C. Seabury, Sushant Kumar Panasa, Venkata Sai Kumar Reddy Murukuti, Surya Narayana Reddy Chintakunta, Saujanya Deva, Nidishri Sanam, Ajit Anavarapu, Yashaswin Kunduru, Pavan Kalyan Reddy Chintakuntla, Sri Rama Satya Kartik, Yaswant Reddy Anapureddy, J.L. Kruti Batana, Jonathan Rius, Michael Whittington, Victoria Borsetti, Rafid Ullah, Zarak Mahmood, Kent Butler, Lakshmi Yadav, Sunjung Kim, Ruth T. Lang, Sai Tanmay Padadar Pali, Suresh Ganta, Dikshita Pasupula, Amaranayani Akhila, Pranavi Gadakopula, Shivani Badinahal, Shravya Tanapati, Kavya Shri Maniga, Sandeep Reddy, Sasidar Guti, Jivan Sai Srila, Omkar V. Sangamnakar, Jaspreet Singh Bhatia, Shuvraj Yoti Deb Roy, Devarsh Bhavin Kumar Shah, Daksh Intwala, Viral Harish Kumar Jani, Pooja Kangokar Pranesh, Vishnu Priyatanda, Manikanta Panuganti, Manisha Tirunahari, Satish Reddy Batula, Satyak R. Kasukanti, Manadeep Akam, Aditya Srinivas Sarangi. In the program of Technical Management, Diana Nanaya Apia, Yeshvida Reddy Adulamala. In the program of Health Information Technology, Heath Berlin, Chukwuka P. Ogo, Evan McCann, Alekia Goduru, Nastaran Azar, Bhavana Pujari, Tanuj Reddy Bomaneni, Pranati Tatareddy, Bhavya Sri Narela, Krutika Nayak, Tejasri Lakampali, Crystal Fort, Cleo D. Shaw, Danielle Rainey, Navya Shri Kadiyala, Preeti Rentala, Ramu Guba, Surineni Manisha, Kavyasri Bospali, Monica Reddy Pasati, Vamshi Krishna Dasaju, Sharath C. Kunala, Anukruti Atluri, Harish Krishnamurti, Kyle C. Wright,
Thank you all. Let's give all of our graduates a round of applause. I especially, you can keep going, you can keep going. I especially love the enthusiasm of those who had students graduating in the last 3 or 4. You were just as loud as the first 1 or 2, so congratulations to each one of you. Now please join me in welcoming the UMBC Camerata and Jubilee Singers to lead us in the singing of the Alma Mater. The words can be found on the back of your program. The group today is led, I thought, by Janice. Well, hi. Mr. Truong, thank you so much for being here. I thought it was going to be led by Janice Jackson. I'm delighted to see you this morning. After the Alma Mater, we ask that you remain at your seats. Our program will be concluded by our Grand Marshal, and then the platform party and students will recess. Please wait to leave until the platform party has left the floor.
Boldly bearing your colors.
I now invite the Grand Marshal, Dr. Susan McDonough, to conclude our ceremony.
Will everyone kindly remain standing until the platform party has recessed? Families and friends are asked to meet the graduates outside of the arena. On behalf of the UMBC community, it is my great pleasure to say congratulations, everyone.